morning. So this will be my paintbrush stand. I will be using Shinhan watercolor today. I've got a silver black velvet size 6, and I will also be hopefully finding time to use my Raphael 3/10, which is a pedigree mop brush. So if you haven't seen me paint before, say hi. I like painting florals, and it's been a while. Hopefully I will have a virtual class, so if you'd like to join me, let me know. So in this case, I'm just, can you see, I'm loading paint onto the paper. So this has a lot of pigment on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a clean brush and I'm going to spread that around, and that's what's going to make the rose a little bit more. Hi Judith, good morning, happy Sunday. This is for my relaxation, for my peace of mind. So if you're joining me, welcome. And I'm adding a little green because why not? And then I'm just going to try and spread the yellow out some more. And if you are not aware yet, good morning. The nice thing about watercolor is that you want it to be as transparent and as ethereal, tama ba yung pagka-enunciate ko, as possible. Because the moment you start going very solid in terms of color, I might as well use poster color or gouache, right? No need to go all wispy and light. So the idea of this flower having borders, because you hardly can see it, hi Tita Alice, is to add a darker border, and you can go far, let's say here, and then put your leaf so that your leaf defines where the white portion of the flower ends. Okay. Finding that too light, so I'm just going to add a little green to it, and I'll keep going. So as you can tell, I like doing top view, and then I'll move on to another flower. And lately, I've also liked the paint running into the other colors. That kind of makes it more, what's the word for it? Makes it more natural, and it seems like I did a lot of work, but not really. Okay, so there's that. And then I'll keep going. I used a yellow, and I will, let's see, where's that? Yellow. I'll just move on to a darker one, and I'll keep going. Maybe I'll stick with this palette for the moment and see what I end up having. So for the 10 people who are here watching, 10 lang naman. But hey, hello, welcome. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's been months since I was able to really sit down and just foresee I'd have maybe an hour to myself, and that mentally for me is something I need, knowing that I have an hour for myself, not that I can paint. So, and it's uninterrupted, so that I can keep going. So, I also like using what's left of my paint on the palette. I never clean this up because the nice thing about watercolors that you can reconstitute the paint that is here. It's not a waste, and that means I can just you know, come up with a new shade, a new color for this painting because of all the different prior mixing that has been done. Okay, so this one's a happier green, I think. Usually I put leaves at the end, but I would like to mix the yellow and the green now, while the edges of the yellow petals are still wet. Okay, this one isn't, so I'm going to reintroduce water so that it will mix. And usually that can happen early in the competition tuloy. Early in the painting. Okay, when things are still damp or outright wet. Yeah. And then later, as I learned, when you paint, hi Rana, when you paint, and I'm drying it, you start with light and then it gets darker and darker. Okay, so because I'm doing yellows, these yellow flowers, maybe just background here. Maybe I'll move here to the opposite side, and maybe you can tell roses and flowers, their center is darker than the rest of the painting. So I'm adding water to the paintbrush, and I'm letting the paintbrush just widen and then return to its normal shape. Okay, there's going to be a big flower. I'm removing the water from the paintbrush. I'm removing the paint from the paintbrush so that I can just use the water to get the paint all transferred and big. There, how's that? Okay. If you have questions, now is a good time to ask, right? Especially if, on a Sunday morning you have nothing better to do and you're just watching anyway, might as well learn something, right? Right. So what is it you want to know? Let's see. I'm self-taught, and then when I realized I didn't know much, I would take painting classes. The painting classes I take naman for my own benefit. Because I like painting so much, it feels like a roller coaster ride, because it's exciting. You don't know if the next brush stroke is going to mess it all up. But feeling ko, I've leveled up, or at least I know how it should be done. But as the title of this live episode says, this is just my go-to, meaning I love to return to this type of painting for myself. Okay, it's just how do you say it? I don't want to sound yabang. Thoughtless, in the sense that it is just wherever it goes, that's where it goes, and happy na ako. I never plan what the painting will look like in the end, so it's a surprise for you and me. I'm just relying that I have a good combination of colors for the painting, and that you know, it looks pleasant. It will look pleasanter in the end. A sheet like this takes me about an hour to finish, in the sense that I tell myself, you know, you're done. The colors that you used, those are enough. Stop na. If the camera is moving, it's because I lowered the camera. Hi, Tita Linda. I lowered the camera, and so the tip of my paintbrush is hitting it. If you can see, I move the paintbrush tip. I make it thick, I make it thin. Hi, Yumiko. Good morning. And in moving the paintbrush tip, oh, it's got green on it, but hey, why not? Moving the paintbrush tip gets the size and the shape going. Can you tell I'm leaving white spots? And the white spots are supposed to become the highlight, or the areas that are being hit by light. Okay, there. And I realized that watercolor painting is the absolutist, if that's even a word, way for me to relax, because I let my mind go. That's one. And then I let the painting talk for me. That's two. I create. That's three. I become surprised in the end. That's four. Because I don't know what the painting picture will end up looking like. And then I am proud of myself for having completed something today. That's six. And then this is a potential Christmas gift. That's seven. Not that it's cheap or free, you know, I do have costs involved, right? But it's from the heart. It's unique. Nobody can do exactly what I'm giving them. So guys, you know what you're getting for Christmas. Ay, there. So I'm just going around the paper. I'm starting off with just the yellow ones. Later I will shift and maybe go a little peachy. Yeah, so here's another yellowish. Wait, can you see that? Okay, so there's that. And then this one will keep small because of the green. And then it seems I'm the type, I like a busy design. Can you see that? It's still wet. And when it's busy, it becomes a little, what's the term for it? Not confusing, but you don't know where to look. And that's what I like. You want to just be able to look at the painting and then discover so many corners, so many locations of interest. I see little pieces of dust, and that to me is fun, you know, and that's what keeps your interest, or that keeps your eyes still, and then you start relaxing because of it. Now I'm sad that I'm only holding 2 paintbrushes. I could use more and do this a little faster, but that's okay. So I just remove the green from the mop brush, although I see traces of it still, and then just widening and going around the flower. Oopsies, sorry about that. There. Very happy, very wherever it goes type of flower. And maybe it would help if I had a darker green for this one. Hi Ruth, how are you? It's been a while. So I'm just painting yellows and greens at the moment. Maybe the measure of a true artist is knowing when to stop. You know, like a director of a play. No, oh, thank you for thinking that it's beautiful. The director of a play will know what elements to include, what elements to highlight, right? And that's what we need. We need a way to. We need a way for our paintings to feel like, if it's not telling a story, it's just changing people's or the viewer's mood. But first, it changes the painter's mood. So no coffee, just paint this morning. Just enjoying myself. Finally, my gosh. How long has it been? If you check my Instagram account, maybe 1 painting a month. How sad is that? Considering, you know, I was so busy. Can you see that? I have to move the paper pala. Sorry. I was so busy with school. But thankfully, we've been doing online classes for a month. I've been pinch hitting left and right, knocks left and right. And so, hopefully, I won't be needed at a moment's notice, and I can relax my guard, clean my house, kasi the furniture is everywhere, given that I need space. I teach preschool students, and I also teach Zumba kids. So it's very necessary to have a lot of space. Okay, so far, if you can see, very light flowers. And then I actually like this one the best. It's a lemony yellow. So let's see if I can recreate that. Let's do the lemony yellow with the green. And even if it's lemony yellow like this one, it makes you think it's white. I don't know why. Okay, maybe I will move it here on this side of the paper. This one is a little empty. No, it's not the lemony yellow. Oh no, maybe it's because I mixed it with green right away. Trying, but I don't know if it looks correct. Oh, this is the worst flower yet. But that's how fun it is. I don't care. It's a Sunday. I get to paint anything I like. And I happen to like painting flowers. So if you haven't started following me, I have workshops by Roxy na Facebook page, and I also have workshops by Roxy na .com and my IG page, which is the Labo naman, Rosan Araneta on IG. So follow me so you can see my artwork and drop me a line, say hi. You could be nice and reconnect, right? Okay, so enough of the yellows. I think I will now go and make peaches. Okay, so I'll start with yellow, and then I'm going to introduce yellow pink into the painting. So there's, can you see that? Hold on, let me move my paper. I am tight sa paper kasi, or the space that I have. Okay, so now that I have yellow, I'm going to add a little orange. Actually, that's a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dilute it with just water. So there's that orange. And possibly add a stronger one. How's that? There, just a hint. Hi Dong, good morning. Just a hint of the orange fighting its way through. Okay, so I'm subtly changing color palettes now. There's now orange here. And let me just add, I need to water down, so you're not seeing this, but I need to water down the green leaf color that I chose. This one. There it is. Ew. Okay, so how to correct something? If you're still watching, I am cleaning my mop brush. So this is all water, and I'm going to remove the water from it. Okay, there's the water, and I'm going to clean the page by just lifting the paint from it while it's wet. Good luck for those who panic and do it when it's already dry. It's going to be difficult. Okay, so I'm trying to clean it now while it's still allowing me to. That's why they say watercolor is unforgiving, because if you make a mistake, halata, and there's only so much repair you can do. Okay, So with that, I move on. I will try to keep adding orange and continue. Okay, so this is still the yellow. Yellow pa rin. And then orange while it's wet. Before I added the orange, I watered it down a lot. Okay, you see that? Okay, let me go add I'm doing an olive colored leaf. Ay, ay, ay. Remember, I've been out of practice. Okay. So now that it's yellow and lots of yellow, I will use a complementary color and see if I can not fix this, but make the yellow stand out. Complementary color is purple. Okay, so I'm going to use another stroke for this. I'm going to use a bright purple or a bright violet. And the stroke is I'm just going to use the side, the broad portion of the paintbrush. It's not going to look pretty for now. It's going to look what's the word for it? Unfinished. You see that? But leaving those white portions allow for the eye to think that there are what you call highlights or portions where the light hits it. Okay, and then I'm just repairing the shape of the petal. And later, I'm going to add the center to it, not now. Typically, flowers have about 5 petals, but maybe the size that I'm using as my strokes will not allow that for the moment. So, hindi ko siya, while it's wet, I'm adding blue to the center. And I will allow it na lang to spread on its own. I'm dropping color where it's still wet. Okay. And that should prettify later. Now, since I have a new color on my brush, I'll just keep using it. I'll move it here. And I'll use the broad end. I will fix the shape and I'll keep going. Okay, as you can tell, these flowers are not meant to look like real life flowers. They're just like an impression of. Okay, I'll just keep adding these little flowers here and there. And the idea is to set off the yellow. And that's supposed to be like an unfinished one, meaning the rest of the flowers behind this flower. Okay. Center a little darker than the rest. So I'm dropping more paint there, but not so much. Okay. I'll just introduce the purples and the magentas left and right, and I'll put them where there are holes. So when I say holes, you know, bald spots. So the petals that I'm doing are almost triangular, or they start out triangular and then I round them out. When I round them out, at least there's space for me to improve or make it bigger. If I start big and circular siya kagad, it can only get bigger because I cannot adjust them. I'll try a plum one. Let's try here, since there's space. So what are you ladies and gentlemen doing this fine Sunday morning? Sometimes I realize I'm not hitting the camera cannot see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm turning my paper around. And I will just keep adding blues and purples. To different spots. Right now I'm doing 4 petals. Maybe it's the size 6 na brush that I'm using. Maybe it's what is needed intuitively, and so I'm just keeping them at this size and number of petals. Okay, so this is my secret to painting, guys. When I realized anything goes and that it's still pretty because you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So since it will always be pretty, I can relax. I can do I can do anything I want to the painting, and to me it will just be amazing. See, if you let go that way, then things become amazing. I've actually started quieting down. I had started quieting down when I discovered painting. Whereas before, medyo palaban, palaaway, right? Oh, very, very brilliant color combination. Let's see if I can water it down. I'm going to use the other brush. I'll just use water. And I'm going to distribute the paint to the next petal. This way, I didn't load more. I just used the same, how do you call it? The same deposit of paint. Just adding to the center and to the side. I need to try and make it a little rounder. Burp, excuse me. Okay. And I'll just keep doing this until I am happy and I'm ready to stop. So editing, which really just means knowing what to include, what to correct, right? Putting things together. So editing is part of knowing your work, your craft. And I like to keep going until I see less white spaces. So some people like, movement, room for movement. I like it packed. If I'm going to have a floral bouquet, it's because the person who gave it to me paid a lot of money and decided to give me a bunch, not just like one or two. But in reality, guys, I don't like receiving flowers. I find it very expensive, so I'm nanghihinayang with the gesture. Sana you gave me na lang food, a diamond ring, or I'm adding a little, did you see that? I'm adding a little blue where I can. I'm dropping blue so that there's color. Hi, girly. Kamusta si Randy? Okay. So, painting lang. Moving it around. If you cannot tell, this painting is never centered. So, the idea of these small flowers will center it sooner than later. Because, you only have naman a finite space, right? Oh no, I've started to sing. Or started to hum. Baka you don't like. So I'll move here. For those who haven't discovered the joy of painting, what are you waiting for? Another pandemic? Learn something new. Be someone better. Improve on yourself. Include more skills in your skill set. Because during the pandemic, you need to be able to have a plan B, a plan C. You have to have a lot of income streams, right? And thankfully, I was able to use this additional skill in making or holding private classes, in improving on other people's lives. Okay, parang may pointed edge dito. Yan, dagdagan ng tubig yan. There. Okay. And then here, it needs more. So, do you guys understand complementary colors? That's why I chose purples, fuchsias, magentas, and plums. And that's to show off the yellow. The yellow flowers. It makes the yellow pop out, and it makes the violets pop out. So the two colors beside each other make the colors more fantastic when they're seen side by side. And so less effort on my end to prettify them, because unbeknownst to you, subconsciously, your brain is taking in a very nice color combination. Okay. So this space looks like it needs attention. So let's give it some. I added a little blue just to change it a bit. And then a little black in the center. While it's still wet, I will drop color where I can, so that it becomes dynamic. Lots of things happening there. Okay, so in the spots that are too narrow for a flower, I will add leaves there, but that's for later. I'm still enjoying, adding this type of forget-me-nots. Here, let me add here. More blue, because there's so many purples here. I have to change the how do you say it? I have to break it. I have to break the color palette. If they're all the same, then why? Okay, so if there's just one here or two here, you can just imagine that the rest are at the back hiding. And so people ask, why flowers? Why not cupcakes, seascapes? Because flowers are forgiving. Why do I say that? Do you know all the flowers in the world? No. So how do you know if I'm copying one or making one up on, diba? And if I'm making one up, less criticism, because how can you judge a made-up flower? You can't. So it seems I've loaded a lot of black on my paintbrush, and so that it doesn't go to waste, I'm putting it at the center of as many flowers that I can spread it on. So there. Now that I have this, wait, let's see if I can move my camera so you can see most of it. Okay, now that I have, I'm going to add almost like a gray brown how do you say it? Palette of leaves. So I'm going to go very light, and so it's a neutral leaf, so that it doesn't destroy the bright stuff that I've already put there. Okay, I'm just loading paint and color that you cannot see. Okay, so I think bumalik siya sa olive, but that's okay. Now I'm going to change the brush stroke, and I'm going to change the leaves. For the leaves, I'll start here since there's space. They're going to be longer. I'm moving the camera, so I have to make sure my paintbrush doesn't hit the what's this? It's not a tripod, but it's the stick that holds the camera. Okay, so I'm going to have a line here, and I'm going to have leaves like these, among others. I moved the camera. Sorry, how do you call you? Sorry, people watching, kung nahilo kayo. Okay. So, how come you're watching me and you're not doing anything at home? Baka naman you can talk to me. I've been speaking for, I don't know, more than 30 minutes for sure. It would be nice to have a little feedback from the viewers. You see that space? I don't like empty spaces that are alanganin. So, dagdagan ng leaves. See that? Even if you don't understand it, you will appreciate it in terms of I'm using the side of my paintbrush, so I'm using the broad side. There. So this is a green, brown, gray that I'm now using for the leaves. Just like in calligraphy, the consistency helps. Consistency of strokes, size, angle, they help in making leaves. Because your eyes look for patterns and they like patterns, and your subconscious hates things that are not in the same categories. It needs to see and it wants to predict what you're about to do. When it cannot, then it's not settled. Your brain finds that there's something wrong or something off about what's going on. So I'll just keep doing this to the different sections of the page. I'm still doing leaves now since I've done a lot of petals. Cool, I will watch the recording. Ganda. Okay, thanks, Lisa. How are you? How are the kids? I think I will put the recording on YouTube. My YouTube channel na lang. I won't leave the recording here on Facebook. Okay, the YouTube channel is Araneta. I'll probably upload this after lunch. Lisa, how did your exhibit go? Lisa's also a painter, just like her mommy, Tita Marisa. Come to think of it, Tita Marisa likes also painting floral scenes. So you can look for Marisa Romero and Lisa Romero de Guia if you want paintings also by different artists. So I'm just going around. As you know, you let one section dry and then you move on to another. That's why I keep moving the paper literally around. Okay, I'm doing the opposite side. Lisa, if you're still there, Mari wants to have a painting session. Baka we can all be in the same Zoom call and just paint together para maiba. Sorry about that. So the artist is also his or her very own editor. She or he should know when to stop. Sometimes it's just too fun to stop. Sometimes there's no more space in the paper. Sometimes the artist is hungry. So, iba-iba yung reasons for stopping. And sometimes you just realize it can't get any prettier. So, when you feel that way, then yes, please stop painting or stop painting the painting you're currently handling. That's not yet how I feel, so I'll keep going. And I said also, right, you start from the lightest, and now I am heading on to the darkest pigmented portions. And this helps with contrast. You'll need light and dark or light and shade to appreciate the other. If there's no light, there's no shade. And then it becomes monotonous. If it just looks the same color everywhere or the same amount of pigment everywhere, right? So I'm just finishing my paint on the palette. And when this is done, I will take a picture and show you the Finished product. Konti na lang. Maybe I will be done in less than 5 minutes. Talk to me. Nobody's saying anything. So what did you learn by watching? Anything else? So the heaviest greens. Hi, Sock Clearly. So the heaviest greens that I'm putting now will be my last shade of green and last set of petals. So they're the super darkest ones that I've chosen. And my sheet is almost filled. For those who are asking, I just used a well, to me anyways, it's a cheap brand of watercolor paper. It is, wait, I'm pulling it out so you can see, the Corona watercolor paper that is 9x12. It's 190 GSM, and for how many pieces? 10 pieces, 55. So 550 per page. Not bad. Just for, you know, a morning of relaxation. 550 and plus paint and paintbrush. Ang saya, diba? And then your paint goes a long, long, long way. But you have to invest. Okay, I think that's it. I will take a picture of this one and include it in the thread so you can see how this whole morning's painting turned out. So for those who watched and those who liked and hearted my painting session this morning, thank you. If you want more sessions, then let me know. If you want classes, let me know as well. Happy Sunday. Bye.